Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. It's been nearly 2 years since Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky first sparked rumors of marital issues in the summer of 2023 before announcing their split in October. But now Kyle is opening up more about what life without Mauricio looks like and the ways in which he's moving on. That new life included the signing of a 6-month lease during season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He said, I need to do this. I'm going to move out for 6 months, and then we'll figure it out. So I was like, take it from there, type of thing, Kyle said on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. But then Mauricio made another change that shocked Kyle. Furniture purchases. I assumed he would have it staged, or he'd find some place that already had furniture, Kyle said. Then, all of a sudden, he was like buying stuff. I'm like, you're buying another bed? This feels like you went into this thinking this is permanent. I have yet to go to his place, Kyle admitted during the after show. However, she also revealed Mauricio has invited her a number of times. Actually, it just hasn't worked out yet. Not for any particular reason, Kyle explained. I've been out of town with certain things. Or I had plans. Kyle shared that despite their separation, she's hosted Jewish holiday dinners with Mauricio's family at their Encino home. He said, can you come over and we'll do the holidays at my house? And I was like, I have more space here. You're going to have to come here. Kyle said. So, I've been still hosting like Jewish holiday dinners with his family. The separation has also been difficult on Kyle's family, since her sister Kathy Hilton has known Mauricio for decades. Still, Kathy has been Team Kyle during the split. At one point during season 14, Kathy remarked on Mauricio's looks. Kyle, you look like you could be his daughter, Kathy said in episode 2. He has aged. Kathy also advised Kyle during the season to make sure you're protected because you've obviously brought a lot to the table. Despite this, Kathy had a surprising answer during the season 14 reunion when asked by Andy Cohen if she'd like to see her sister reconcile with Mauricio. Yes, I don't like things to change, Kathy added. For the kids. For me, I want everything staying the same. Kathy also revealed during the after show that she remains in touch with Mauricio and has called to check on him during the separation. Don't miss Sutton Strack explaining why she feels Kyle should file for divorce from Mauricio. After months of whispers, speculation, and sidelong glances at red carpet events, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards is finally breaking her silence on the seismic shift happening in her personal life. In an exclusive sit-down interview, Kyle opens up about the subtle, yet significant, change estranged husband Mauricio Umansky recently made amid their highly publicized separation. And for Kyle, it was more than a symbolic move. It was a wake-up call. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't for cameras, but it felt final. Kyle says quietly, swirling a glass of lemon water as she sits under the California sun in the backyard of her Encino home. Mauricio looked me in the eye and said, I need to do this for me. And that's when I knew we were both really starting to change as individuals, not just as a couple. The change in question? Mauricio, the charismatic real estate mogul and fan favorite on Netflix buying Beverly Hills, quietly moved his belongings from their shared bedroom into a separate space on the property, a guest house he once used as an office. It wasn't about moving out completely. He's still here for the kids. We're still very present for our family. But that gesture, that decision, it meant something, Kyle explains, visibly emotional. It was him drawing a line in the sand. He was choosing to figure himself out, and I couldn't be mad at that. For fans of Robe, the unraveling of Kyle and Mauricio's seemingly picture-perfect marriage has been as dramatic as any Bravo season finale. For over 27 years, they appeared inseparable, raising 4 daughters, building an empire, and navigating fame side by side. But in early 2024, the cracks began to show. Kyle stopped wearing her wedding ring. Mauricio was spotted on solo trips. And then came the photos. Him dancing shirtless on vacation. her spotted walking hand in hand with country singer Morgan Wade. People want to pin everything on Morgan or assume someone cheated, Kyle says, shaking her head. But sometimes a marriage doesn't fall apart all at once. Sometimes it just stretches too far. And one day, you wake up and realize you're not speaking the same language anymore. According to Kyle, the guest house move wasn't just Mauricio's way of creating space. It was his way of reclaiming something he'd been quietly losing over the years. He told me, "I've been dad. I've been husband. I've been CEO. But I forgot who Mauricio is, and I had to respect that," Kyle says, her voice catching. "I think part of me needed space too, but I didn't want to admit it, because admitting meant things were really changing." For a woman who's spent over a decade living her life in front of the Bravo cameras, Kyle is surprisingly introspective, even vulnerable. She admits that watching herself on Robe this past season was uncomfortable but necessary. "I saw someone who was holding it all together with a smile, but completely crumbling inside," she reflects. "There was so much I wasn't saying, so much I wasn't allowing myself to feel. I thought if I kept busy, if I kept filming, if I kept smiling, it would all just fix itself. But that's not how healing works." She pauses, then adds, "I think Mauricio realized that before I did." Still, despite the physical separation, Kyle insists that their relationship isn't ending with bitterness or resentment. In fact, she says their communication has improved since the move. "We text more now than we did when we were in the same bed," she laughs softly. "We send each other songs. We talk about the girls. Sometimes we'll even talk about therapy or things we're reading. There's this newfound honesty between us. No more pretending." As for the future of their marriage, Kyle remains deliberately ambiguous. "I don't know if this is a pause or a permanent change," she admits. "I think we're both figuring that out. But right now, I'm trying to live in the truth, not in the illusion." Fans, of course, have plenty of theories. Some think the split is a Bravo storyline. Others are convinced Kyle is already in a new relationship. She shuts those rumors down. "Morgan is one of my closest friends," she says firmly. "I know the rumors are juicy. I know it makes for great TV. But not everything has to be romantic. Sometimes someone comes into your life to help you find your voice again. That voice," Kyle reveals, "is growing stronger." She's taken up journaling, hiking solo, and meditating, practices she used to roll her eyes at, but now finds grounding. "I used to be terrified of silence. Now I crave it," she says. "For the first time in a long time, I'm asking myself, what does Kyle want? Who is Kyle when she's not being someone else's everything?" Still, some days are harder than others. She confesses that watching old family videos or seeing Mauricio post with the kids can trigger deep emotions. "I'll cry out of nowhere. I'll miss the version of us that used to be so in sync. But then I remind myself, change isn't the enemy. Denial is." Kyle's daughters, Farah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia, have all been supportive, though each has processed the shift in their own way. Portia is the youngest, and she feels it the most, Kyle says quietly. "But we talk. We're honest with her. We're showing her that love doesn't have to end in order to change shape." And maybe that's the biggest takeaway Kyle has gleaned from this chapter of her life. "Love isn't always about holding on," she says. "Sometimes it's about letting go just enough to let the other person breathe." Mauricio did that when he moved into the guest house. And maybe, in a way, I needed him to. With Robe filming another season and her acting career reigniting with new opportunities, Kyle knows all eyes will be on what she does next, who she dates, what she posts, how she navigates this new normal. But for now, she's not rushing into any boxes. Not as a wife, not as a divorcee, not as a woman on the rebound. "I'm in a season of discovery," she says with a calm smile. "And the only person I need to impress right now is myself."